Who is y'all to tell me what he diagnosed with and what he look like, what he sound like y'all don't know nothing about? God and y'all don't know nothing about, nothing you talking to me like that. So I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child to be honest. It's time to just say what it is so that you can stop being embarrassed and harboring that guilt. I literally spoke what I saw because IARMS and people couldn't help but notice that her son hasn't made much progress since she decided to keep him off social media for quite some time. Many have been concerned about his health, with some in denial. About his developmental needs, they were convinced that over time his issues would just resolve on their own. But as it turns out, they couldn't have been. More mistaken, a doctor who saw the live videos circulating on X has just confirmed what many had speculated for. Months Christian's son may never be able to speak unless they seek substantial help to address his developmental delays, if that wasn't enough. Blueface's Mo added fuel to the fire by claiming that Christian herself is responsible for her son's condition. This situation has had people raising eyebrows ever since first introduced her son to the world. Remember, when she streamed her entire birth, live on Instagram. After months of silence, she came back, excitedly gushing about how perfect her son was in every possible way. But for many, that wasn't the case. The baby showed little to no head movement, lacked hand-eye coordination, and the moment that really caught people's attention was when they heard him cry. It wasn't like a typical baby's cry, it was more like a screeching cat, and Chrisean desperately tried to convince everyone that everything was perfectly fine. Then during a live stream, when Chrisean defended her tattoo of Blueface on her face, her son started crying uncontrollably in the background. It was at that moment that viewers couldn't help but feel that something just didn't seem right, both in the sound and in the situation. When Chrisean posted another video feeding her son, fans quickly noticed that he didn't react to the food or the spoon until it was almost right in front of him. At that point, he was already 8 months old. What 8-month-old sees food and doesn't try to grab it? Why didn't he have the typical reaction that most babies do when food is in their vicinity? People flooded her comments, suggesting that her drinking and smoking while she was pregnant could have contributed to his condition. One person even wrote Chrisean Rock is in denial when it comes to Junior. He isn't reaching milestones. He should have enough strength to support his head and chest. While lying on his tummy, he also doesn't coo or smile. When Chrisean saw this comment, she wasn't having any of it. She snapped at people and claimed that it was just haters trying to make something out of nothing. Some people even started saying that what her son was dealing with might be a genetic condition unrelated to her smoking or drinking during pregnancy. Another person commented, saying that those so-called milestones people keep mentioning were just made up to boost a parent's ego, not to actually celebrate the growth of a child. But how does that even make sense? Yes, seeing your child achieve certain milestones does make you happy, but y'all know how much effort it takes to bring a child into the world and raise them properly. These developmental benchmarks give parents a sense of where their kids stand. If a child isn't hitting expected milestones, it helps parents easily spot developmental delays and take action, according to doctors who weighed in online. Christian's son displayed all the physical characteristics of fetal alcohol syndrome. Small eyes with folds at the corners, extra L large, low set ears, a flat midface and a small head. The high-pitched crying could be a sign of credouche, but it could also be linked to alcohol withdrawal in infants. People also noticed that in photos of him, his pupils reflected white instead of red, which might indicate something's wrong with his sight. However, Chrisean didn't seem to care. She asked people to stop diagnosing her child and claimed she had already taken him to the doctor on the internet. My baby is healthy. They would have told me he had syndrome. He was healthy. Bro, just 'cause that picture wasn't that cute doesn't mean I could diagnose my baby on the internet. Christian was literally documenting every minute of her child's life, and if there was ever a time she took him to the doctor's office and nothing was wrong, she would have posted it to prove her haters wrong. But Blueface, who might I add is just as lazy, apparent as Christian criticized her for delaying their son's hernia surgery, claiming that she pushed it back because she had other things to do. Until it got worse. It wasn't until after Blueface's rant that she finally took Junior in for surgery and immediately posted about how quickly he was recovering. When Junior was almost a year-old, Christian posted a video of him trying to walk as if to defend against accusations that he wasn't making progress, but instead of proving people wrong, the video only made their point stronger. We had never seen him walk, talk, hold a spoon, laugh, or do anything that a typical one-year-old should be doing. By that stage, people began bashing her, claiming she only wanted a child to keep her connection. To Blueface, her ex, best friend Janet also fueled the fire, hinting that Christiana's in serious denial about Junior's need for help. When people are in denial of stuff, it's like you can't help people when they're in denial of what's actually going on. After all the backlash, Christian finally decided to stop posting her son as Mush on social media and raise him out of the public eye. I think we can all agree that was the smartest decision she's made in a long time. But when she brought her son to church to debut her new song, Yahweh, people were shocked to see that not much had changed with him. At his age, kids are incredibly curious about their surroundings. Yet he was just sitting there doing nothing. Keep in mind, he's almost 2 years old now. People aren't upset because of his disability. What makes them so infuriated is the fact that he's a victim of his environment. Unfortunately, he was born into a situation where his parents' actions spoke volumes. All we've seen from them are toxic, immature, and unconventional decisions that led to an unplanned pregnancy for 2 people who didn't even want the baby in the first place. How many times did we see Christian online threatening to get an abortion and not properly caring for herself during the pregnancy? The fact that she's still in denial and isn't doing more to help her son really speaks to the immaturity and unfortunate circumstances he was born into. It doesn't help that Blueface's mom Clarissa has been vocal on several occasions about how the child has a problem. Clarissa has never been fond of Christian, and she may have transferred some of that energy and resentment toward Junior. But even with that said, it's still heartbreaking to see him in this condition, when things could have been so different. It crushed my heart to look at my grandbaby and see that, and that was my first time seeing it. Oh God, and it did. It crushed my heart. A little bit, it did. But I love all my kids. No matter what I told you, whether they slow need a helmet, whether they got nappy hair, whether they are short, funny looking. I love all my grandkids, but I ain't going to lie, my first initial thought when I saw him in that restaurant, it crushed me, and for her to say she wanted to stomp me out, girl, I can't even tell you what my mind wanted to do to you once I looked in his face, and I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air was hurt. Everyone saw Christian drinking and smoking like she had no care in the world, and now all of that has led to this. She doesn't want to face the public's scrutiny that would come if she admitted what everyone's been saying is true, because that would mean she would have to take accountability for her actions. Okay, and because I hear the cry and I see what y'all see, I do feel like there could be some type of neurological problem. I do see that I'm not blind, and I'm not dumb. I'm not fixing to play blind after seeing Christians unlike. This people sure don't have a lot of nice things to say about Christian. Herself, it's high time she stopped playing the victim because she messed up big time with this one. Her poor decisions have messed up her baby's life. He didn't ask to be born into this messed up situation. It's sad that a baby even got caught up in this mess. I hate this for him. Why is everyone shocked that Cryanson could possibly have special needs? She was smoking while pregnant and Zeus filmed her doing it. She wasn't. Ready to have a baby. And now, unfortunately, Herson is enduring the consequences of her negligence. I feel bad only for her son, not for her. I think she knows she's to blame for his struggles and behind closed doors. She's hurting badly, but at the same time, she doesn't want to face the reality because deep down she knows it's her fault he's like this. So instead, she's just going to continue praying that he gets better. If a baby still can't walk, talk, or even babble at 20 months old, that's a huge red flag. Christian is really going through a lot right now as a new mother, and maybe there isn't anyone close by to guide her. But we can only hope that she gets Herson checked out and gives him all the support, love, and opportunities he needs to overcome whatever challenges he may be facing. But what do you think about this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe, because there's more to come. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.